Okay, this is a handy guide to finding all the lights in the Alice Vancouver venue. When you first come into the side door, you're going to walk up these sets of stairs. The door opens up, and you'll be in our topsy-turvy waiting area. Immediately to your right, you'll see two switches. The far left controls the lights over here by the table, and the right controls these lights. Again, this side, this side. Next, in the rabbit hole, there are two LED lights on battery packs. These don't function as a lot of practical lights, more atmospheric lights. So one, as you can see, is hidden on the left side. So if you see the clock, it's just hidden over here. One is down here by the little telephone on the right side. It should look like this. Now we're heading through the keyhole door and into the venue itself. As you can see, it's quite dark in here. So the first thing to do is immediately to your right. This light should probably be kept on just for safety, just to give a little bit of light. Reach your hand past the smaller bird cage. You'll see this switch. You'll feel it. This turns on the bar lights. This will provide enough light to be able to see to get back there. We're now behind the bar, and this light panel over here, which is covered by this door, open this up. They've marked where all the important things are. So everything that's not marked in green is not really usable here. So this is our hallway lights. This is very important because it turns on all the running lights in the hallway, and it turns on the lights in the Tulgey Woods blacklight room, and it turns on all of these LED lights. Next, the red overheads. Flip that toggle all the way up, and those turn on those lights right there, those red overheads. Next is the green backlight room. Turn that all the way up, and those turn on those green lights up there. Again, they're not really practical. They're just adding some filler light. So this is what the blacklight Tulgey Woods room looks like when it's all turned on. Everything is controlled under these outlets over here, so that's why it's very important to turn that hallway light on. Now this is the hallway. As you can see, there are a couple of LED string lights that are also attached, but they're not controlled by a switch. So if you look just to the top over here, you'll see a couple of control boxes. If you are vertically inclined, you can get a chair or else a tall person to do this, but Just turn that on. The right side turns it on. The left side controls the what the lights do. Right side turns it on. Left side controls the function. And then it should all look like this. You'll know you have both lights on when you see this crisscross. If the crisscross isn't lit up, then all the lights aren't turned on in this hallway. Now we're at the bottom of the stairs, heading up to the upstairs Mad Hatter Tea Party area. We keep these lights on just for visual safety, because depending on whether you come in the morning or not, well, no, you'll always be coming in the morning to turn the lights on, and then at night it's just easier to have them on for safety. So hidden behind this tree by this little flower right here, although things may move, you just have to stick your hand in here, and if you can see, you have to feel up for this this poster board. Okay, if you can feel it, run your hand to the very middle and up, and you will find a light switch. That light switch, turn it up, that turns on all the lights on the right side of the room. So now we're on the stairwells looking at the left side of the room. Okay, so on the left side of the room, first thing to turn on is this lamp. Pretty simple. There's a switch, goes up there. This adds a lot of fill light. If we keep going toward the kitchen, you walk into the back kitchen area, turning on the lights in here, all the way back on this shelf. The right side, all the way back, flip the switch, you turn on the fluorescents in here. Now I'm standing in the kitchen on the left side of the room. The fill light is on. To my right, you will see a mantelpiece. This table is normally not here. We only put it here last night for a larger party. Behind here, you will see two switches. The top gets plugged in, and that controls all of the Edison light bulbs. Again, this is fill light. You'll notice that some of the light bulbs are not in their sockets. That's for a reason. It was quite bright in here with all of them in, so we took every couple of them out. If you happen to need any replacements, the bulbs are all under the stairs. The second light switch, or cord, this white one in the bottom, what that turns on the little fireplace. This purple light, and also the purple LEDs in the back room. 4, and 5. I haven't actually put lights on this one yet, but I will. And again, that will be just down there. Okay, so now that we're on this side of the room, so I'm standing in the back corner at the last tree in front of the Cheshire Cat face. So you'll be reminded to turn on the Cheshire Cat face when you turn this plant on, because on the 1, 2, 3, 4th shelf, there's a little white lantern. Hidden inside the lantern are 3 remotes. They say eyes, mouth, and nothing. These remotes normally connect all of them, but the sensors are very sensitive. So, start with the eyes. Okay, as you can see, the eyes turn on the left eye and the mouth. So as you can see, if you look at the eye and you look at the line and you follow it all the way, hidden in right here is the sensor. So if some reason you can't turn it on, the sensor is here and you just hit it. Although it's not ideal because then you have to pull apart the hedge, but there's a little button underneath. And hitting that switch controls that eye. Same thing with for the mouth, and same thing for this eye. They all have little sensor boxes hidden, but that's what the remotes are for. So the right eye typically should be this one. Okay, and the sensor is hidden over here, so you want to make sure that you're turning it on approximately over here. Same thing when you're turning it off. As you can see, as you can see, as I was going around turning things off, I turned off the eye and the mouth. Actually, so this one remote really turns them all on. Left eye, mouth, and in theory it should be the right eye as well too. There we go. So technically one remote controls them all. You just have to be able to find where the sensors are. So it's a little bit of a guessing game, but the right eye is in this area. The left eye and the mouth are in this area. So if you go back to this side of the room, when you turn this topiary plant on, you'll see these 2 switches at the very top. This left one, that turns on all of the colored lights, lanterns up here. Again, they don't provide a lot of practical light. They're just color atmosphere light. The right side, it says high and low. Low, high. Okay, again, this is for more atmosphere light than practical light. Except on the Cheshire Cat side, where we have a yellow bulb, because it was purple and it wasn't bright enough to take pictures, and a lot of people take pictures in front of our cat wall. So that's why that's up there. If the bulbs ever go out, you can get replacement bulbs at Lowe's. I can post in the chat about specifically where to get those. Okay, now we're standing in the back side of the back room in front of the cat wall. Okay, as you can see, it's pretty dark over on that side. So This is our feature wall. A lot of people take pictures in front of it. That's why we have the photography light. If it's not currently on, there's a switch in the back. Hit it to the right. Boom. It's got barn doors on it. It's got fader so that you can adjust warmer, cooler, whatever you like. But if you want to have it off during the show, that's up to you. Or if you want to have it on a low setting so it's not as bright. Not only does it add a lot of practical fill light, but it also is functional in focusing your attention on this wall so that people know it's a feature wall to take photos in front of. Now we're over at the flower garden. Again, there's another practical light that's right here. It's this lamp. This illuminates this entire flower garden section. It's really important, especially if you're playing the Mad Hatter, to be able to have that light on because it illuminates the game board. All right, over here, there's another plant. I'll probably add another switch to it or another LED lights to it. But over back here, this light right here, very important. Now, see what happens is, even though it's lit up, sometimes the sensor doesn't turn these purple lights on. So what you have to do is remove the entire thing from the socket until the light turns off. Replug it back in. And then boom, you've got the other side of the purple LED lights on. The next thing are all of these circular lanterns. Now, this is not that important, but it's more important in dimly lit areas. So, as you can see, this is just an example. Underneath all of them are little LED candles. So if you turn those on, as you can see, it just gives a little bit of a glow. If you miss them, it's not a big deal. But again, in the more dimly lit areas, just having that little bit of light adds texture to these lanterns. And under every single one of them, there's an LED candle attachment. Turn it on. Step back. Again, so as you can see with this yellow one, it's not as obvious as the blue one, but it's still important that they're all turned on just to create texture and atmosphere. At the end of the night, you will notice that when you turn all the lights off, you'll be able to see which ones you missed. Because at the end of the night, you're tired, you're bound to miss one. But when you turn off all the lights first, then you'll be able to see the lanterns illuminated. So that might be something that you want to wait until the end of the night. And this is what the room looks like, all lit up. So there's one small thing to add, again, just for atmosphere, not for practical. You will see these LED candles around the room. They'll be on tables, they'll be on the shelves, they'll be wherever. All you need to do is twist and it turns on. If you find that the light is dimming or it's not as bright, there are spare candles downstairs, as well as there are spare AA batteries. Those go in here. Today is Monday, so all the tables have been struck because all of the linens are being washed. But when everything is reset, you'll be able to see what all the tables and the decor look like. And on the table decor, generally, I've tried to put at least one candle on every table so that every table has some sort of illumination. And then bonus, if you remember, not a big deal, most of these lanterns with the candles in them are in fact LED candles. So if you miss them, not a huge deal, but there's one there. There's one here on the shelf. There's one in there. Okay, so they're just kind of around the room. That's it. That's the guide to all the lights in the venue. If anything burns out, if something isn't working, you can always ask in the chat. I will be active in the chat pretty often. But yeah, just tag me if I don't happen to see the notification if something major has gone wrong. That also goes for set deck. If something major happens that needs my attention that refers to a design element, let me know. If it's something simple like, let's say, the curtain that goes to the back kitchen that fell off, that's something simple. Liam is going to be spearheading a lot of those kind of things in terms of fixing little things like that. But then also, if you look and notice these panels, if one, they're not tacked on, they're just stuck on with snot tape or Gorilla Tape. So if they fall, or because they inevitably will, because there's a couple panels that fell downstairs, then there is all the supplies under the stairs that you'll need. Extra batteries, Gorilla Tape, staples, snot tape, under the stairs where the alcohol is kept. That's where all the supplies will be kept as well too.